In one of that, the one person amongst those 15 people was also present, something like that. And then, in the time of Hazrat Usman, Raziyallahu anhu, 7 copies of the book which was compiled were sent to different places in order that they may be published in plenty.
Different parts of the kingdom.
Islamic kingdom.
The preservation.
So that it can be published.
The Holy Quran, which is now accepted all over the world, is that version which you are mentioning as being sent out in 7 copies of which being sent out to various parts of the kingdom. That is called Musaf-e Usman. The fact is that the difference between this and some other versions was not a difference of subject. Everybody agreed, but there are various qira'ats, various tribes of the Arab read Arabic differently from one another. Like here, there is a southern dialect and the northern dialect and the east dialect and the west dialect and so on. There are 100 or some dialects in England, a small country. So there were differences of dialects and difference of pronunciation and inflections. So the question was raised in the time of Hazrat Usman Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu to adopt one dialect, otherwise the future people may differ and may conceive it to be a difference in the Holy Quran. So after consultation with so many scholars and the scribes themselves, Hazrat Usman decided that the dialect of the Meccans in which the Holy Quran was revealed should be adopted, and it is the same dialect which is now preserved. Now that is very clear. Now what is the question?
As said, this was one of the things which
I understood. The moment you started, raising and coming to this part, I understood there was something bothering you. But this is it.
No, not bothering.
There is no difference. Clarified it, yes.
I don't want to say you, but I want to say
Please.
Sorry. What I wanted from Hazur was that it should be recorded also on this occasion that when we compare some other books of Revelations and all this and the Holy Quran itself, it should be recorded that first that the Holy Quran was compiled in full in the Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam time. Secondly, Hazrat Abu Bakr's time it was.
Compiled, this word has to be explained. A compilation was made at the time of Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam which remained verbal. Despite the fact that the book was committed to writing, as you call it, in fragments, but as I understand, in parchments. Instead of fragments, parchment is a better word for this. In various parchments, it was recorded in black and white, and they were rolled up and preserved. Now, Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to tell the scribes as well as some other companions who had memorized the Holy Quran where to place which surah and where to place which verse. Sometimes a verse was revealed before a surah was revealed, and later on Jibreel came, Jibreel is called, peace be upon him, who told Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to pick that verse from there and put it in that position, in that surah, in that position. So Huzur Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam would receive the message and pass it on to the scribes and the companions. Also, the organization of the surah and their relative positions were told very clearly by Jibreel where they should be put in the order of, not in the order of revelation, but in the order of arrangement. So all this compilation was made at the time of Ahmad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, but it remained verbal. What Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq Radhiyallahu Ta'ala Anhu did was that having called various witnesses to when this issue was to be decided, because some of the issues were not debatable at all. It was a common knowledge that according to Ahmad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that surah should precede that surah, and so on and so forth. Yet there were certain minor issues which arose from time to time about the relative position of verses and some surahs as well. So those issues were decided by calling various witnesses and those of high repute to tell Hazrat Abu Bakr which was the verdict of Ahmad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam himself. So this is how the compilation was transferred into script. Otherwise, compilation was made at the time of Ahmad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So this is the difference. Now the question, if there is any about it, you wanted some elucidation on this?
No, I wanted to finish what was my question, and then...
I know, but when you reached Usman, I thought you had finished with it. You're finishing it backwards now.
No, I go forward and then I finish.
Achha, you go to please.
The proof of this, that the Holy Quran was publicized extensively, was that when Hazrat Muawiyah radhiyallahu anhu and Hazrat Ali's fighting came and they raised up the Quran.
Goes up with the Holy Quran on top. Every lance had a Holy Quran to declare that we bear witness this book, we swear by this book, that this should be done, or this book should be held supreme, and because of this we should come to an agreement. You know, that was a symbol for that. Yes.
What the last word was that this book which is in our possession now was in the Khilafat Rashida time and completed in the Khilafat.
Correct, that's right. But again, this version is highly debatable. I mean, people who are told of this fact that the Holy Quran was raised on lances do not know what they are being told. The fact is that the Holy Quran, as we see today, is a completely different book in size and presentation than it was at the time of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So to conceive the whole book to be raised on the point of a lance is to me not at all conceivable, acceptable point. It's impossible, because some camel loads were required to carry the whole parchments of the Holy Quran as it was written in those days. It was not like your paper of today. Now it was compiled in the book form. It was rolled. How those rolls were raised and all the rolls of the Holy Quran, that is to me not conceivable at all. What I understand from that is that it was not the whole book, but some parchments were rolled to indicate the Holy Quran. That was all. That is understandable. But otherwise I can't conceive of such a situation.
No, what I wanted to convey was not that the complete book was shown. What I wanted to convey was, I want to correct my statement, was that the Holy Quran was available at that time, extensive, what I wanted to say.
Not the whole book, in like we have today, but it was written again in parchments, and those who knew